And the last report that I'm going to show you is the Sales by Month report. This is another great report that just gives you a quick snapshot of how you've done every month on one page. So you can view those 12 months, basically 13, because you're looking at, for example, if I'm looking at June, I can look at last June and this June and then all the months in between. And I can run it by supplier or class. I can do SKU detail if I choose, and I can see exactly the net sales, the quantities, the ROIs, the turns. Whatever I want to check on this report, I can see month by month just on one screen. So to get there, we're going to go to Reporting, we're going to go to Sales, and we're going to go to Sales by Month. This will bring us into the Sales by Month report. Again, you have report options and report criteria. There's a little more detail on this report that you can go and choose and select. So it starts with how do you want to group your data. So if you want to click on the drop down, you can do it either by supplier or by class. And if you want to print the SKU detail out, you can click on the checkbox that says print SKU detail in each group. If you don't want the SKU detail, just leave that unchecked. Then you have what is the end date of the report. Here you can put in the end date that you want to look at. So if I just want to look at from July of last year through July of this year, I can put in, July 31st, 2010 if I want, and it's going to go through the end of July because it looks at basically the last 13 months, including the month that you're in. So you'll see that. So if you wanted to look at all of the year of 2009, then you would put 2009 and it would go, July 2009 and 12 months back before that. So it just depends on what months and year you are wanting to look at on this report. Then we have what sale types would you like to include. In most cases, you're just going to use the store sale. It's certainly not going to hurt to check all of these. Then you have class depth if you wanted to do it by class and wanted only to do the top level or maybe 2 levels. If you leave it blank, it's going to do all your classes. Since we're just doing a summary by suppliers, it really doesn't matter. We're just going to leave that blank. Then we have what fields would you like to include. So if you want to look at each month, what quantity you've sold, the net sales, percent of net sales, beginning on-hand quantities, profit, gross profit, ROI, and turns, you would check them all. If you're only concerned with maybe net sales and quantity sold, then you can just check those too. Obviously, the more information that you check, the longer the report's going to be. And then again, you have how would you like to treat your stores, whether it's separate or combined stores. And we have the report criteria. Here you have a little more information. So if you're at the top level, you're going to see this store information. If you're at the store level, you're not. You have by supplier. If you only wanted to print this report for a certain supplier or suppliers, you could do that. Maybe I wanted to do it for New Balance and I wanted to look at all the SKUs per month that I've sold. Then I could just do New Balance and I could go back to the report options and choose SKU detail. If I wanted to do it by a certain class or classes, color or color, SKU or SKUs, or product custom entries, I could also exclude data by clicking on the exclude checkbox. If I wanted to exclude New Balance, have everything else run except for New Balance, I could put New Balance in the supplier and click on the exclude checkbox. And when I'm ready to run it, I can click on Add Job and Run. This brings us to the report history, and then we can select our report and open it up. And here is our Sales by Month report. So it shows you how we ran the report. So you see where it says the end date was 7/27. So July of this year, 2010, is going to be on the right. So all of the other months are the previous months, all the way back to July of 2009. So based on what you put in for that end date, that's what you're going to see on this report for the months. So here you see the quantity sold, net sales, beginning of month on-hand quantities, percent net sales, profit, gross profit percent, ROI, and turns. And you see those figures for every month. So you can really see a great snapshot of everything on this one report. And then it'll give you totals to the right. And this is Adidas, and as you scroll down, since I did this by supplier, you'll see each supplier and the figures for each supplier based on what you selected on the report. If I go to the last page, it's going to show me as a store one, the entire store, here's the totals. And that is the sales by month report. I strongly encourage you to run all these reports that I've shown you today. Really gives you some great information to help run your business. This webinar will be available on your Rex Enterprise in the video library. So you'll always have access to that. You can also call our support department and they'll be glad to help you with any questions that you have regarding this. Thank you.